In this episode of Oh Jeezy Fitty Feezy, we are talking about all these news stories from coast to coast about, we'll talk about. We have a lot of stories, but welcome to this episode of OG55. Let's get it. Welcome aboard, everybody, to another episode of OG55. We're talking Walt Disney World. We're talking Disneyland Resort. We have a lot to discuss. Actually, a lot more Walt Disney World today than Disneyland, but we do have some Disneyland Resort stuff in here too. But the Italiano is at an undisclosed location right now. George, how you doing?
I'm doing good, so I'm currently in Cali at the moment. That's a big shocker. I've been out here, the whole entire trip. I'm out here for 2.5 weeks, so I got about a week left. As I said, pretty soon I'm gonna pull a Walt Disney to where I'm just gonna get like a one-way ticket out here, and that's gonna be that.
Well, you come back down here in February.
Yeah.
So, but who's counting, right? No,
who's counting? I don't think anyone's. I really want to say, I don't think anyone's counting more than you are.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, inside joke. But you're coming back down in February, right? I mean, is it possible that's when you make your magic move?
I don't want to say no because there is a possibility, but I think because majority of my flights that I have booked after this trip are all one ways because it was cheaper. So I booked one way coming out and one way going back. So It is a very easy transition that I could just cancel the rest, get the credits, and that's that.
There you go. And then you're gonna get on your plane, your Southwest plane, and it'll be like, everybody, this is the captain speaking. George is having a one-way trip to California.
Hi, Monster on the beat, ho.
That's exactly how it's gonna go, George. That's exactly how it's gonna go. Thank you for flying Southwest. So, George, should we dive into our stories today?
Let's go for it.
All right. The first one is Dinosaur staying open through 2025. Interesting. So for the whole year, I mean, that's crazy.
For the whole year.
So they're not going to even start this thing until 2026.
So from my understanding, what it was supposed to be, I remember they said that Dinosaur was going to close at the very end of winter of 2025. So majority it was going to stay open throughout the year anyway. But they recently said it's going to stay open the whole entire time of 2025 and then close down in 2026. So basically they're starting on the Encanto section first and probably the carousel with the animals, the different animal IPs from films. They're probably going to work on that first because I feel like that's going to take the most amount of time because they're basically working from the ground up. With Dinosaur, they keep the structure, they keep the layout, they keep the ride vehicles, they keep the ride system, the track. They're basically just going to retheme it and reskin it to Indiana Jones. So I don't think it would take that much time. A year's worth would probably be enough for them to open it during the time that they said in 2027.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, obviously there's going to be some heavy changes to the attraction, but the skeleton, so to speak, the ride system, the skeleton, the building itself, it's already there. So everything they're doing basically for this attraction is window dressing, essentially, like the theming elements of it, right? So, and again, that's a lot. I mean, there is a lot to it with the rock work and things like that. But I think, I mean, it makes sense that they're kind of pushing this one off a little bit. Now, Test Track is opening late summer 2025.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting how they're coordinating these. So Test Track opening late summer 2025. What are your thoughts on that? Now, that one, again, is another kind of, I don't want to say overlay, but an existing thing they're just sort of plussing. So, I mean, it kind of makes sense that that's opening in just a year.
Because they have already started the process. They were working on it. It's basically Test Track 3.0, where it's going to be kind of paying tribute to World of Motion, which was the original ride at Epcot before it was replaced by Test Track 1.0 in, I believe it was 1999, right before the millennium. which I'm excited to see Test Track come back up. I find it interesting because, you know, you, Ebba, Seymour, and Wizard were having this conversation, but I find it interesting that they would open this late summer of 2025. But that doesn't surprise me because a lot of times summer isn't really the big calling card for vacationers anymore. It seems like it's geared towards the holiday season. So by opening this up late summer 2025, it'll be ready for that holiday season.
Right, that is correct. And also, this is something that's going to be around forever. Well, not forever, but it'll be around for a very long time. So it's kind of different than a celebration. Like we did a live show tonight at the time of this recording. We just got done with our live, and we were talking about how the Disneyland 70th is premiering in May. And you had a great idea. You were like, well, they should hold off until July 17th to kick it off. And I agree with you. My whole concept, my whole theory, though, is like, well, you know, they want the full summer. You know, that full time to sort of capitalize on that whole summer, right? Mm-hmm. Now, that makes sense for the celebration because a celebration is only a finite amount of time. It's usually only 18 months. But this is going to be here for years and years and years. So even if it opens in late summer, it's going to be here next summer too. It's going to be here, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of okay. It's a little different. But you're right, though, George. I mean, the holidays are big business for Disney right now, and Universal too, from what I understand. You know, so
yeah,
we'll see. Now, that's not the only thing getting some, you know, enhancements. Tiana, Bayou Adventure, they added some. They added some stuff to that. You want to go ahead and give us a little more detail on that, George? We'll talk about it.
So as of right now, it's only proclaims to the Walt Disney World Tiana's Bayou Adventure that they added. I believe it's closer to the end of the ride where they're having the party and everything. And in the backdrop, when you're going around after you see Tiana having the party, Mama Odie, that you see the night sky, and they added Ray and Evangeline as the two stars shining in the sky. So I think that's quite interesting that when Disney said that they were going to have Ray somewhere incorporated in the ride, they did, but it was in the format because the ride is essentially after the events of the film.
Right.
That Ray has joined Evangeline as the night star, so to speak. So I thought that was really cool. Very simple change, very simple enhancement, but sometimes it's the small things that count that just, you know, elevates the ride experience. And I'm for sure if they did that with Walt Disney World, I'm for sure they'll do it with Disneyland as well. It might take a little bit longer because Tiana's just opened up at Disneyland. So I'm for sure they'll add that in as well.
Yeah, they will. They will. And that's why I think fans need to kind of take a deep breath and things are going to be okay. Because a lot of times when things open and they're like, oh man, I don't like this. This is wrong and that's wrong. But these things are constantly changing. These things are constantly being plussed and played with and changed. So we're seeing it in real time here, you know, with the additions with Ray and all that, right? They're still adding stuff to it, you guys. They're still adding stuff to it. And a year from now, maybe they'll add more to it. Who knows? You know, maybe they'll fix at Disney World, maybe they'll fix the gaps, you know, and stuff like that. Maybe they'll address that, you know. These attractions are not like, they're not the 10 Commandments. They're not like, you know, etched in stone forever. You know, you can change these things as you go, and they probably will. They already are. So, yeah, very good news. I loved Tiana's. I haven't been on the one in Magic Kingdom, but I absolutely loved Tiana's out here at Disneyland. I went with Mr. Theme Park Wizard and our friend Jalen, his beautiful family. I just had a great time with them. But I thought the attraction was a lot of fun, great energy. It wasn't perfect. I'm not going to sit here and tell you everything was perfect. It wasn't. There were things in there that I had issues with, you know. I think the big CGI Lewis and Tiana was kind of weird. The big faces, you know.
Yeah.
That I wasn't a big fan of that. But overall, it was good, man. It was good. So hopefully we'll get these enhancements over here in California.
Hi, Monster on the beat, ho.
There we go. Because you're in the process of being calified, from what I understand.
I am. Yes, I am in the process of being calified. I actually just got this shirt from Abby. Yeah, I'm being calified as we speak. So, as I said, it won't be too much longer till the Italiano makes his West Coast debut.
Here we go, George. I'm gonna have to knight you. Hold on. I'm gonna knight you. You are officially officially a Californian, George. You have been qualified.
Second bad, but somebody gotta do it. Come on, put up on the gas, but somebody gotta do it. Turn his TV off. Turn his TV off.
I just love that song so much that I just had to, I couldn't help myself, but I don't care. So what? We get demonetized. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, you are being qualified, and maybe in February, maybe it'll be the real deal. See how I start rumors? Now I got you pegged for February.
You never know, and you never know with me because I'm a very spontaneous kind of guy. Like I extend my trips, I change things. It's like, yeah, it may just be that February might be it. It might be March. It may be April. I will say this. I really think, because I told Abby and I told my mom and everything, that I truly feel like at some point in 2025, I'm going to make the move.
Yeah. And it'd be great to have you down here too. Cause like we talk about it a lot here on the channel. Like we're family. We really are.
Yeah.
Like it's funny. Like you'll tell me like, hey, OG, text me when you get home. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah. I text you. I do the same to you, right? We do it like we're family, right? We're family.
It just comes naturally. It's like, let me know when you get home, drive safe, or be safe.
Right. We do that with each other. We do Ebba, actually it was a really funny story, not to digress too far, but my lazy ass, I have a car. George has been in it. I can drive, the whole thing, right? I hate driving like the freeway and shit like that, especially like with the rush hour traffic and stuff. So I'm like, I get like kind of like, I don't know what you would want to call it, like bougie, or like I waste money. So what I'll do is I'll like get an Uber to fucking take my ass, even though I have a perfectly working car in my driveway. You know what I'm saying? So when we went to Universal HHN, I took an Uber to these guys. So we're sitting there waiting for the Uber, and I tell the guys, I'm like, all right, I'm going to go. I think it was like at midnight, right? When I left, when I got into my Uber or something like that, it was like 12 midnight. I said, hey guys, I'll text you guys. I'll text you all when I get home. You know what I'm saying? I'll text you. It was like 12 midnight. It's like 12:07. I'm home. And Emma was like, why the fuck did you take an Uber for 7 minutes? I love it. I absolutely love it. Oh, so hilarious. Anyway, we've digressed far enough. But the next topic, Oversight District asks Water Management District for a 60-day extension on Rivers of America. So they want them to figure out this Rivers of America waterway system. Now, I got to be completely honest with you. I'm not really 100% schooled on all of this weird Florida stuff. I'm a Californian.
Hi, Monster on the beat.
And so is George. No, but no, I'm not really privy to a lot of this weird Florida stuff. But apparently they have issues with the water. The way that Disney has sort of set up this Cars Land area. And they want them to kind of go back and kind of address these issues. Disney's asking for a 60-day extension. What say you, George?
So this is from what I've understood, and I could be wrong. I'm just kind of dissecting the pieces of what I understand. And if anyone knows the full story of it, or if I say something incorrectly, please comment down below. And we ask of that. But at the time, the first article was that Disney had 10 more days, which is now less than, to have the documents kind of like filled out, signed, submitted to what their approach is going to be for the replacement during all this construction, I guess, with the watering type of thing. That's the part where it kind of loses translation for me. Well, anyway, a couple days later, the Oversight District submits to the Water Management District of a 60-day extension. Now, that was a couple days ago, but so far we haven't heard anything of the Water Management District granting them the 60 days. So this tells us that Disney doesn't have anything ready.
No.
So if by that time of the expiration date and the Water Management District does not grant them the 60-day extension, they get denied the permit, and Disney has to restart the whole process over again, bearing in mind that they have the answers of what the Water Management District is asking of them, or they'll get denied again. But if this even happens once, this definitely puts a dent in the time frame when they can start construction
Yes.
The Cars area, and eventually Villains.
It put, yes, all of the above, and even the designs of this land. Because if they have to address these waterways and the way the water, whatever this weird, I call it weird Florida stuff, because that's what it is. That's what it is. It's weird Florida stuff. I'm a Californian.
Hi, Monster Hunter beat ho.
So this weird Florida stuff, you know, but this weird waterway stuff, if they have to address that, they might have to make changes to how it even physically looks, you know? So, and they probably will. So, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just, it'll just be different, slightly. I don't think it'll be massively different, you know? But we do have more Disney World news though. The Villain Show in Hollywood Studios got a title and opening.
Mm-hmm.
George, what's the title?
It did. So it is actually called, and it just went off of me. You son of a bitch. There it goes. Sorry. It's called Disney Villains Unfairly Ever After Show. And it actually is premiering at Disney's Hollywood Studios in the summer of 2025. So another thing that's going to premiere in the summer of 2025, but I'm for sure it'll be ready probably before Test Track. But
Yeah.
got some small things happening for the summer to kind of, you know, pique some interest, you know, for people to attend, because we also have to take in consideration too, that with Epic Universe opening up in May, you know, Disney, I feel like they're not really pushing the boundaries to get bigger stuff open for the summer, because they feel like they can use Epic Universe as a positive note to their benefit. Because if people are coming down for Epic Universe, and Universal kind of screwed themselves by allowing people to only enter Epic Universe once with a package deal.
Right.
Well, people are going to go to Epic Universe once. They may not want to go to the other Universal parks. And they're like, oh, well, we're already down here. What can we do? Oh, let's go over to Disney World.
We have to do a video, George. Maybe tomorrow we can do it if you guys have time. I don't want to cut into your time with Abby or anything, but like if we have time, big caveat. But I want to do a video though on that Donkey Kong coaster.
Yes.
Because, hey, dude, we haven't been hating on that ride at all. We've been talking a lot of positivity about that. Like that's the one thing that I think is going to be the game changer for the whole park. That's what we've been saying the whole time. There could be issues with the park and this, that, and the other, but the Donkey Kong thing, that's the thing that's going to really change the game. That's what's everyone's going to love, right?
Mm-hmm.
We saw that footage.
Oh, yeah.
The on-ride footage. I was not impressed, y'all. I was not impressed. It was very short, slow. I mean, I get it. It's a family coaster, but even like Slinky Dog is like faster than that. You know what I'm saying? It was just, I don't know, dude. And there wasn't a whole lot of like stuff to look at. It was really underwhelming. We'll see. This is the one in Japan. The one in Epic Universe might be different, might be more elaborate, might be better. I doubt it, because Japan is usually the one that, even in Universal, I mean,
right? Yeah. See, that's bad. If that's the one that's coming from Japan, what the hell is it going to be in the States?
Yeah. See, if like this was like Hollywood's version, oh yeah, you guys will get a better one for sure. You know, they don't give a fuck about Hollywood. No, I'm just kidding. They do. They care about Hollywood, but just not as much as Florida. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But this is the Japan version. So, I mean, it's either going to be the same as Japan or worse. I don't think it's going to be better than Japan. I would be shocked if it was.
Now, I will say, and we'll dive into it whenever we do just the full video on it, but I will say, I will give a little bit of leadway for this, because I know with the POV for Tiana's, when it first premiered, it was horrible.
Oh, that's
it
true.
Didn't do the ride any justice. So I'm kind of hoping that's the thought, that maybe whoever filmed the POV
fair point.
Do a good job. I hope that's the case.
That's a fair point. And you know what? I'm glad you said that. I didn't consider that, but I'm glad you said that, because there were a lot of people that got on, you know, various platforms and what have you, that was crapping all over Tiana's because of the POV, right? Mm-hmm. Look how bad this ride is. Da, 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 da. And actually, when you ride it, it's actually really good. It's way better in person. So that's a great point, George. Let's be fair. This Donkey Kong thing might not look great on camera. It might not even, it's not going to hit the same way on camera, obviously. When you're riding those vehicles, when you're in that mine cart and you're going through it, it might be a really cool experience. So I'm glad you brought that up. And it's absolutely could be the case, 100%. So we'll see. But yeah, we'll do a video on that. I don't know when we'll get to it, but I mean that it was an interesting. It was interesting. I wasn't expecting. I was expecting more visual stuff. There wasn't much to it, to be honest with you. There really wasn't.
And the trick where it makes you look like you're jumping the track, I was trying to kind of like look out for it. I know it was there, but again, I don't know if it's a different feeling once you're actually riding in the cart. But it didn't really give like that full on illusion, like you're leaping over or jumping a track.
I didn't get that either.
Like levitating, like just moving across it.
Yeah, I didn't get that either, bro. I didn't get it either. Again, it could be just a shitty POV video, like Tiana's was, you know. So we'll give it a fair shake. Let's see some other videos trickle in and see what it looks like, and people that actually go on it and stuff like that. You guys will be going on it in the summer, so we'll give it a fair chance. You know, we're not going to completely write this attraction off. You know,
I will say though, because Abby and I were talking of like a game plan of like how we want to go, because we're actually going opening day. We're actually going May 22nd, and we were kind of going back and forth. It was like, do we start with Dark Universe or do we go over to Super Nintendo for Donkey Kong? After seeing that POV, I don't want to take the chance of going to Donkey Kong first. We're hitting Dark Universe first.
So you were like, after that POV, this thing is a POS? Is that what you're saying, George?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. But our last and final topic of the day is Disneyland resort news. Well, more specifically, DCA, right? So the red car trolley is closing. I think it was in, what was it, February, I believe? It's closing
February 8th is the final day.
Yeah, on I think it's DCA's birthday, isn't it? Oh, that's dirty. When did
it is?
It's the 8th, right?
It's either the 8th or the 9th.
Yeah, February 8th. I always get confused if it's the 7th or the 8th. It's the 8th. So it's closing on DCA's birthday. They're doing DCA dirty.
Ooh, that's some shitty. Oh, man.
Yeah, they're doing them dirty. But it's cool. It's fine. We still have our trolley. It'll just be parked, you know, like out in the front, which is cool. I mean, it still adds to the aesthetics of Buena Vista Street. Personally, I love the trolley. I wish they could keep it. For whatever reason, they got to get rid of it. I think we've talked about it a lot, George. I think it's more than just that backstage area being used for Avengers. I think Hollywoodland is really on the chopping block. There's a potential for it to become Avatar. We don't know for sure. You know, we haven't heard any confirmation, but it just, there's something else going on with this. And I think that it's just more than, because look, that trolley barn isn't that huge. If they wanted to, they could figure it out. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why they're getting rid of it. And I think it's because there probably won't be a Hollywood land to fucking go through. So they have to close it because there's no track, you know what I'm saying? But what say you, George?
Yeah, for me, I do think it's kind of weird that they're doing that on February 8th. Now, February 8th, it's saying it's the last day, correct?
Yeah.
That's the last day. So it's kind of like, okay, it's DCA's birthday, you know, ride the trolley one last time. And, you know, that's that, you know, but I'm glad that they are keeping it, you know, there for, you know, photo opportunity purposes and what have you. But, you know, I do feel like, you know, with it sooner or later, you know, they're going to start the process, whatever they're going to do. And I think because they are closing off the trolley in the very beginning of 2025, they're going to want to eventually start the process, whatever they got going, which again, it's leaning more towards Avatar going into Hollywoodland.
Yeah. Yeah. Something's going on with that. But we'll see. But it is, I don't know, to take it away, to have the last day on the birthday, because you know what makes me mad? DCA's birthdays are always
Lackluster.
Oh yeah. I mean, like beyond lackluster, like non-existent almost. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think the most I think they've ever done is hand out pins or something when you walk in.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I get it. It's a secondary park. It's not like a castle park. It's not Disneyland. It's not Magic Kingdom. I get that. But still, yeah. I don't know. Well, we'll see. I think, I don't know. I hope we get some news on what's going on. I really want to know what's going on with Pandora. We still haven't heard anything about that. You know,
I think honestly, once the holidays are over and 2025 begins, I think that's when we're going to get the big news. I think this is why we're getting these like small little trickle down news that we're covering today, like the title for the villain show and the trolley closure and test track opening and Dinosaur staying open and the small little changes to Tiana's. I think we're getting all that now for the bigger, bulkier news that's going to come in 2025.
Yeah, no, well said, brother. Well, interesting topics, but nice little Disney theme park roundup today. You know, just kind of want to talk about some of these smaller stories, like we do sometimes here on the channel with the roundups. So in terms of like the next week, George is down here in California until the 14th. He will be on some of these shows, but it's just not going to be as much as he usually is on. So we do have another live scheduled for Sunday, depending on when you're watching this. It'll be Sunday night, December 8th. We'll have another live. With George obviously in the house, and maybe we'll have some George video during the week or something like that. We'll see. Try to get Webba back on. I'll reach out to even Slimer. I feel like I haven't seen Slimer in like forever.
We just recently did a live about the 70th anniversary for Disneyland, and it was nice to see Slimer in there in the chat. He got to stick on.
We love Slimer. We love Slimer. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we love Slimer, and see if he's available. He's been really busy he's been taking care of some stuff, and he's been really busy in his personal life. But if I can swing it, I would love to have Slimer on this week. So yeah, we'll see what's going on this week. Try to do more lives, more regular uploads. But the Italiano. Oh, and we also have to do that Kiss of Life concert review show. I am itching to talk about that one, dude. That is crazy, bro. That was wild. Oh man, so good.
That was a good night. Very good show.
Yeah. And actually, it's funny because I'm kind of new. Like I'm the kind of person where like once I find a song I like, I just play that shit over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Like Sticky and Igloo is just on repeat,
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't really dabble too much into a lot of the other ones. Like I knew about Midas Touch and all that, but
that's what I didn't really do either. And then I ended up downloading the whole entire album on the way home after the concert.
So funny. I'm telling you, man, they're great. They're great. And I was really impressed. I don't want to give away too much, but I was really impressed with Julie.
I was too.
She could have hosted that whole, I mean, she kind of did basically, but she could have been the host of the whole show.
I want to see Kiss of Life continue to move forward as a group, but Julie, I feel like she can withhold her own if she wanted to do some solo stuff.
Oh, she could. Absolutely. She could. And my girl Natty, dude, she's got the cutest voice, man. I mean, so freaking cute. You know what I'm saying? But really cool stuff. We'll talk about it. But George, where can everybody find you on social media, sir?
Absolutely. You can find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Disney George. You could also find me on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky under the Disney Italiano. And of course, you can find me right here on my home base at Orange Grove 55 with Citrus Corner, with all that sweet, juicy, but sometimes sticky Disney news and info. And yes, I know, folks, I haven't been on as much. I've been a little bit MIA, doing some Cali stuff, kind of getting acclimated to basically, honestly, I'm pretty much starting the transition of becoming a full-time California local. So, in time, like in intertwining it, I'm going to try to get a few more videos in possibly while I'm still out here. If not, it'll go back to the regular scheduling once I'm back out in PA for the time being until I move back out here. And we definitely have a live set up for whenever you're watching this. It's tomorrow,
Sunday the 8th.
Yes.
And we're gonna do it like around 6:30.
Yes. Cali time.
Hi, Monster on the beat, ho.
There we go. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. And until the next time, we're going to close it out with the Queen, or on Instagram, Asian Queen with 3 E's. Go ahead and follow her on Instagram. She is an absolute queen. Here we go.
Thank you for watching OG55. If you aren't already, consider becoming a member today.